We have Dr. Jill with us today, and like she said, we're going to go over some Ask a Teacher posts. And Ask a Teacher is where audience members or listeners, viewers, write in about questions they have in English, and then we answer in a way that is easy to understand.
So as an introduction, I just want to say there are several of us who are answering the questions that we get in by email. You may remember our colleague Alice Bryant. She actually started the series of Ask a Teacher, and sometimes our everyday grammar friend John Russell has written Ask a Teacher, and so right now I am the person who's writing Ask a Teacher, and even Greg has written Ask a Teacher stories. And what I find is when I answer questions from our audience, I often learn something new myself. For example, our latest episode is called Drop In and Drop By. And let me share my screen. What I learned when I was trying to find a good answer to this question, the question was, I'm writing to ask a question about the difference between drop in and drop by. And this was Dien in Vietnam. And what I found is that people tend to use drop by if they don't expect to come inside of a place. So we might say, here's an example. I asked James to drop by the cafe tonight to hear our music. Here it might be a sidewalk cafe and you stay outside. Or you could use drop by with a place on the internet, drop by my blog on photography, or drop by every Friday for Ask a Teacher on VOA Learning English. But when I found then that drop in people use when they want to enter the building. Here's the example for that. I was passing your street and thought I'd drop in. Do you have time for tea? Or I will drop by tomorrow and put the letter under your door. And there it's obvious that the person is not expecting to go into the building. And we can even say I would drop in on someone. Here's a good example. Every now and then he would drop in on grandmother for a quick chat. So that's what we call a 3-part phrasal verb. Drop in on. And one more example. The middle of the night is a bad time to drop in on a friend. But we could see that Megan needed help. So those are examples of drop by and drop in. So my question for you is, can you make a sentence with either drop by or drop in?
Alfredo, go ahead.
Well, before an example, I have a question.
Okay.
I can see a difference between drop by and drop in. Drop by is applying for places and drop in for persons. As at least I saw it in those examples.
Well, you might think that, but actually drop in is when you expect to enter a place.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to associate it with a particular person. Yeah, my example used grandmother as the person who's being dropped in on. But you could drop in on a class. You could drop in on at an art gallery. So any place that you would go inside of a space.
Okay.
You could say drop in. Whereas if you're just going near a place, then you could say drop by. for example, let's say there's a new house or house for sale down the street. I can't go inside, but maybe I'll drop by and just look around the outside, see what I
Okay,
think.
so now let me give an example, please. I will ask my friends to drop by McDonald's near my place, my home, to eat a hamburger. Is it okay?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Ask my friends to drop by McDonald's. And there, if they were going to pick up a hamburger, they could go to the drive-through too, right?
Yeah, right.
If they have drive-through there. All right.
Yasser, I see you have your hand up. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I would to give an example. Uh, I dropped by my grandmother house, and there I dropped in my childhood toy. Is it right?
Oh. um, so when you say I dropped in my childhood toy, do you mean I visited my childhood toy or
No.
saw?
Occasionally I see it.
Hmm.
I mean that. I mean this.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't think, what do you think, Greg?
Are you saying you dropped off your childhood toy?
No, I think he said he when he goes to his grandmother's house, he occasionally sees his childhood toys.
Okay,
And I
you could
don't
say
think,
I dropped in on my childhood toys, I suppose.
yeah. Yeah,
But
I guess.
if you were to say that, it makes it seem like they're very personal to you and you like to check in on them and make sure they're okay. I think that's
Have a
why we're a
chat.
bit confused. Yeah. You could say maybe like I dropped in on my childhood dog. That might make a bit more sense than toys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so more
yeah.
personable. Yeah, maybe Alejandro's right. Maybe we would use drop in on more with a person too than we would drop
I
by.
was thinking that, yeah, because if you were to say like I dropped in Starbucks or I dropped in the cafe, it sounds a bit odd. You need the on, dropped in on Starbucks or dropped in on the cafe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's
Okay.
a hard example.
Thank you, yes, sir. Yes. How about Renato? He's got a hand up.
Oh, hello. Yes,
Uh,
I have one example.
uh-huh.
Uh, I love to have friends dropping. I have love. I sorry.
Uh-huh.
I
I love to
love.
have
I
friends
love to have friends dropping.
drop in. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
And,
know
and
if you're correct, but I have other example. For example, um, I dropped. I dropped by the office uh, during my vacation.
mhm. Okay, you said I dropped by and then something else during your vacation?
Yes, I dropped by my office during my
Office. Yeah.
vacation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want to stay in your office during your vacation, right?
Yeah.
So you just drop by, maybe say hello and then goodbye. I'm out of here, right?
Yes, Dr. Jill, I'd like to give you an example. uh, my mother, I mean, my grandmother is in hospital because of COVID-19. Perhaps after school, I need to just drop by to say hello through the window. Is that correct?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, because you can't go inside the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah,
You drop by and say hello through the window.
through the window.
Yeah, good
Thank
example.
you.
Yeah, dropping by is much more difficult these days, right?
Yeah,
with
that's
the
right.
quarantines.
Because of current.
Yes. When the phrase is the word is used for a short time, or is possible used for when to pass for the place for a long time. I don't know. Maybe I going to travel. Then I think to visit the other city for 2 days. I possible use drop drop by for long time or also short time.
Yeah, I think we wouldn't use it if you're traveling someplace and going to like stay overnight, something like that. We wouldn't use it. We would just say I stayed or I visited the place.
Okay, it's possible to say I don't know. I went to Mexico City, but I dropped by to Guanajuato for 2 days. Is correctly?
Yeah, you could say that, but dropped by. I think we usually use it for a shorter visit,
Okay.
not like 2 days. 10
Not
minutes.
okay. 10 minutes. Ah,
Hour.
okay.
Yeah,
It's a short
yeah,
time.
yeah,
It's
yeah. Because the
okay.
word drop, remember, like a drop of water, right?
Okay.
A drop is like a very small part, of something, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
a drop.
yeah.
Another question is for a formal or informal speech?
It's informal.
It's informal. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
like many phrasal verbs, it's a phrasal verb, and phrasal verbs are often used in informal situations.
It's not possible using a formal writing or when write
In writing, you probably say visit.
okay, yeah. It's only a casual communication, maybe?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
My sentence is we should have to take care dropping blows in the internet.
Okay, we should have to take care to drop in blows in the internet. Okay, can you explain what you mean there?
Uh, we have uh, this sentence is about the blows in the internet.
Okay.
As in
What kind
Portuguese,
of?
in Portuguese is golpe.
Okay, so I think what you mean is like a criticism or like an attack, right?
Yeah,
Like a bad comment, maybe a
or,
comment against something.
or cope is cope.
Uh-huh. Okay, so
Cope.
Is that like a hit?
yeah, I think so.
Is about
Yeah.
is a robot on the internet.
Uh-huh.
Robot.
Yeah, so I think what it means is like maybe a negative comment, like
Or
you say
like
something bad.
or like a
Negative
cutout? Oh, or do you mean like it cut out, like it's not working?
Is on the internet there are many kinds of types to rob. Okay, rob. Um,
Oh, okay. I think so. Maybe like cybercrime,
do steal.
steal.
spell on the
okay.
internet, in account on the bank,
Yeah.
on the credit card.
Okay. Yeah. So I think what you're talking about is cybercrime, where
Cybercrime,
yep.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So um
Yeah.
so maybe uh we should be careful when we drop in on the internet
Yeah.
to not be a victim of a crime.
Yes,
Okay, gotcha.
This is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't know how to explain about this topic.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a good use though of drop in. Because it's maybe just casual, you start to look at a website, but then you might be tricked. You might be the victim of someone trying to steal your money because you're not being careful of how you're using the internet. Okay, so I put that in the box there, the chat. Now, can you see that? We should be careful when we drop in on the internet so we do not become a victim of a crime. Okay.
Okay.
I have some examples here to apply the phrasal verb drop by. Drop by. I'd like to drop by a clothes shop in order to do shopping.
Good. Yeah. That
Or
works.
okay. Maybe to use the drop by something in the street, like a brick in the street, so that I will fall down.
Oh, you would say trip there. I tripped.
Oh yes,
I
okay.
tripped on a brick in the street.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the spelling of that? Right.
Could I add something? So, Asma, when you said I would like to drop by a store in order to do some shopping, you could shorten that and say I would like to drop by a store so I can do some shopping. The so sounds a little bit more natural because in order is a bit more formal and drop by is informal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you.
yeah. It completely makes sense. It's not an issue. It's grammatically correct and it's clear. But just so
Good point.
yeah,
Yeah.
just so to make it sound more natural.
Okay. Now I have several more phrases I'd like to get to. Is that okay if we move on to another phrase? And Bargavi and Alfredo and Zung. You can do an example for this next one, okay?
Yeah, better.
All right. So the next one that I want to point out is, why do we say how come? Okay. I learned that it's actually a short form of how did it come about that something is true. So I'll show you that one here. Okay, for example, how come the schools are canceled? But I rarely come across this construction recently, both in writing and speaking. I'm not quite sure about the distinction between this and why. If it would be all right with you, I would appreciate your lesson on it. Okay, so I found out that actually it has been going down in usage. The first time it was used was around 1848. And it was pretty popular in the 1940s and 1950s, but since 2012, it has been going down even more. So it's used to ask why something has happened or why something is true. And it's a short form of how did it come about that. So let's take a look at a situation. Let's say you're cooking lunch. Somebody could say, "Why are you cooking lunch?" Or they could say, "How come you're cooking lunch?" Okay, so for children, you notice that uh, we say you are, so the subject and the verb in the statement. But most adults, we make a question by, and also, language learners also have to learn this. We switch around the subject and the verb in the question, right? Why are you cooking lunch? But if you use how come, you don't have to do that. You don't have to switch the subject and the verb. You just keep that statement the same, right? You are cooking lunch. Just tack how come onto the end of the beginning of it. Okay, so it's a simple way to make a question. How come, and then the statement. All right, so why don't we have some examples? Bhargavi, would you like to give an example?
How come you have reached home so early?
Okay, how come you have what? What was it?
Reach home so early.
Reached home. Yeah, I think we just say, how come you got home early?
How come you got home early?
How come you got home early? Or you're home early. Okay, good example. All right. And who else has got their hand up? Asma?
Yes. I have an example here. When someone invited his friend to dinner, and the latter wants to pay for the check. So the first one says, "How come?"
Okay.
That is
How
it. True.
come? And can you can you make it a more complete question? So you said the situation is one person wants to pay, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so and the other one says, how come? Can you expand on it a little bit?
I don't know what to say. I can say from the beginning, do you want to pay for the check? How come? Like a tail question in the end.
Oh, tech question. Yep. But you could say, how come you want to pay?
Okay. Okay.
Right? That would be an easy way to do it too. Good. All right. So you're not sure why somebody would want to pay for the check, right? When you go out in Egypt, do people share the check? Do they split the check?
According to the situation, if we are friends together, we share the check.
You share it, yeah.
But if a family, someone will invite us to dinner or to have lunch. Like for fiance, the male will pay for the check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I have okay. Thank you, Asma. I'm gonna have to turn off my camera for just a moment, Greg. I have to get my power supply is not charging. Be right back.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep going. Renato, what would you like to say?
I have one example. How come you missed the bus?
You missed the bus?
Yes. How come you
Yeah.
missed the bus?
How come you missed the bus? Yeah, good.
It's great, yeah.
Good example.
Zoom, what would you like to say?
Yeah, I have an example. How come you always stay up late?
I ask my mom that every night.
Really?
It's a perfect sentence. Yasser, what would you like to say?
I want to ask a question from Greg. How come you are become the VOA instructor?
So I was studying international relations and diplomacy, and VOA has a history of diplomacy. So I got an internship there. And an internship is like a set period of time where you're not paid or paid a little, so you can learn how to do a job. And I got the internship because I have experience teaching. And I guess they thought I did a really good job because they offered me the job. So that's how I'm here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last fall, during the last semester of Greg's studies in college, he was an intern with us at VOA. And so he worked for us for free for about 4 months, right, Greg?
Excuse me, I asked this question because I want to use the how come and Greg speak and we learn some new words and new phrase.
Yeah. Internship. So actually, but I wanted to correct your question. I think it should be, how come you became a VOA instructor?
I said you are became.
Yeah.
You became.
Yeah, just how come you became a VOA instructor? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to you, Greg. Oh, okay. Should I Greg's gone off, I think.
Can you keep going? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So Alfredo,
Okay.
your hand must be getting tired too.
How come we are taking English lessons on Friday? We should be on the beach.
Okay, good one. All right. Okay, you guys ready for another one? And
yes, please.
Let's see. I have a couple more here. You'll like this one. The next one is the question, what is a party? So you might think, oh, a party, everybody knows what a party is, right? But actually, I found out that there is a more than one meaning of the word party. And let's see if you can think of some of these meanings too. This is actually from earlier in the summer in June, right? Taha in Egypt said, this word party has many meanings. It changed according to the context. Please give me more details and examples. Well, all right. We'll make Taha happy and give some examples. So the obvious meaning is that it's a celebration of something, a social event. We have a party, we invite people to gather, we serve food and drinks, we might play music or dance, have games, right? So the example of that is, I'm having a 4th of July party. Would you like to come? But a party can also be a political party. It can be a group of people who have, think in the same way. China's President Xi Jinping leads the country's Communist Party. In the United States, we have two parties, and when two parties agree on something, they call it bipartisanship. In the last week, we have had a little example of that in the U.S. Senate, where they agreed to keep the government going and pay the government bills for a few more months. So we're always happy as VOA employees to hear that. Party can also be a legal term. When you write a contract, you talk about the people as parties. They could be a group of people or a single person. Both parties must agree to any changes in this contract. Or in a restaurant, you might hear it, a table is ready for a party of 4. And it can also be just anyone, like interested parties may now buy tickets for the school concert. I bought my car from a private party on the internet. And then the last meaning is a group of people with a particular purpose. Here we use the example of a rescue party or a search party. After the earthquake, many countries sent special search and rescue parties to help find the victims. Okay, so those are the meanings of the word party. How about you? Can you make a sentence with one of those meanings?
Okay. Firstly, I want to talk. I want to tell you that I used to use the term of party in the game. So here is the example. In the game, I group several people, and I think it is my party.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you play together with other people in the game?
Yeah,
That's your
that's
party.
correct. Yeah, that's
Yep.
my party.
Yeah, good. Good example.
Thank you.
So that's a group of people with a special purpose.
Specific purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a goal. Alfredo?
Yeah. I disagree about political parties in Mexico because they are spending a lot of money during the campaigns.
You disagree with the political parties?
Yes, because they are spending a lot of money during the campaigns. That's my example.
Okay. And what should they be spending money on instead?
Social programs, something like that. No?
Yeah. So instead, they're spending money on things like advertising, right? Or
Exactly.
events. All right.
Actually,
So
the current government, the current government asked them to cut their budget in order to apply that money in some other things, no political program, social programs, sorry, or something else.
All right. Maybe scholarships for people, things like
Exactly.
that. All right. Thank you.
Yeah,
When
you're
is your
welcome.
election, Alfredo?
Say again, please.
Is there an election coming up?
No, it happened on last June.
Okay. All right. We have Asma again. Go ahead.
It's an Egyptian expression. What's a party? If you're friends together and you're joking, making fun of one of your friends, so another one from the friends says, "What's a party?"
Okay. So this is a joke.
Yes, joke it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Did you get it, Greg?
I did not.
No,
I'm trying to understand it.
it's like something good, but in the fun Egyptian way. What's a party? That is, it will
What?
be something good, joking and making fun. So there is a
Oh,
lot
what?
of laughter.
What a party. So like an exclamation.
Yes.
Not a question. What a party, like exclamation point. I gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, now
What a
it makes
party.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
this
thought
is
you were saying,
somebody
okay.
enjoying themselves. Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
We are funny.
Yeah.
Here in Egypt, we are so funny.
Right. All right. Thank you. Bhargavi, what have you got?
Hi. Um, I don't know. At my hometown or in my hometown? Which one is correct?
In my hometown.
Okay. In my hometown has two political parties. I am dropping by message that for privileges requirements to solve.
So you're dropping by, what was the place?
Um, I'm dropping by message to solve their problems like that. Privileges
Oh,
problems.
oh, to solve the problems.
Yeah. Can I use dropping by or drop by? Which one is correct?
Uh, it either of them could be. So
I am dropping
depends on
by
the
message.
a message.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, yeah, so this would be the present continuous if you're doing it right at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah, that's correct.
yeah. So you're dropping by a message
To solve
to,
their problems, like privileges problems.
uh-huh. So you want to send a message to the political parties
Yes.
that they need to solve their problems.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So as you're going there, you could say, I'm dropping by maybe to give them a message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to talk about dropping by. It was by dropping by. Like, can I use it like passing by, like passing by some obstacles in my life? Uh, or true?
I think they can be similar, but there's a meaning of passing by that's not the same. Like I was passing by their home or their houses in my car, and that means you literally went by them. But you can say I passed by a friend's house today, and that means the same as I dropped by a friend's house.
Can I say passing through some problems?
Passing
Obstacles?
Passing through is like when you drive through a town, you're going like through something, or like I passed through a tunnel.
Yeah.
So it's a bit
But
different.
she was saying problems, Craig. Can you
Yes.
pass by some
Problems.
problems?
Oh,
I
I
think you
missed.
would want to say overcome.
No, I don't want to say overcome. It's not my
Okay.
not the meaning here. But in Arabic, we use this word as a phrasal verb to say someone is like is passing through an obstacle or a problem. But I think it's a wrong translation from the classic Arabic to the American English.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can.
Is that like dealing with? Maybe they're dealing with
Yeah.
a problem.
Uh-huh.
No, when you're entering through a problem is like you have a major problem in life that you cannot overcome.
You're in the middle of a problem. That might
Yes,
be another way. Or the midst, MIDST.
Mhm.
It's another way to say that. But I
Yeah.
think that like perception is different culturally. I think just culturally, Americans don't like to think of themselves in a problem. It's just something we don't like to admit. So there might be just a different way of thinking about that.
you're describing the situation. You were in a problem, so like if a psychiatrist describing that a person suffering from major depression. So he's in the middle of major problems or festivals in his life. Like I described it, not to complain.
Uh-huh. But you wouldn't use drop by and with that situation. Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
You know, Zung has
Yep.
had her hand up for a while. Let's see what Zung has to say.
Yeah, I have an example in terms of hit it up. So in a party, so a friend said that, I can see you hit it off with Lisa at the first sight.
Yeah. Good example. You
Thank
saw
you.
someone at a party and you hit it off. Soon you were talking and laughing together, right?
Yeah. And after that, we could have we could hang out together or something.
Yeah. All right. Who else has got
Alfredo,
their
what would you like to say?
Yes, listen to this example, guys. Greg, because your birthday, how come you are not inviting us to drop into your apartment tomorrow for a party if we had been like two peas in a pod?
I mean, we're thick as thieves, Alfredo. You're always welcome here.
I use all the phrases today.
Alfredo, you are an overachiever. All right. Well, I guess we're out of time, huh, Greg?
Yeah, we are. It was a really great show today, a really great lesson. So thank you so much, Jill, for joining us, and thank you everyone who participated. It was really something great.
We
Thank you
really
so
hit
much.
it off, didn't we?